Hi everyone, hope you're okay. So this is part two of my video on self-care. The one I did on Tuesday was primarily aimed at people with chronic health conditions, and we talked about pacing. But this video is aimed at everybody because we should all have a self-care plan. And even if it's not a written down plan, we should always include the fundamentals of self-care into our daily lives. And it's about being proactive rather than reactive. So it's no good waiting until your stress levels are up here, you're incredibly overwhelmed, you're in crisis, life's too much for you, you're physically and mentally run down, and then thinking, right, I need to do something to look after myself. So considering your self-care and taking actions on it every day, or even if it's every week, but considering them, putting practices in place for your self-care will stop them really coming to that level or make them more manageable for you, so it doesn't turn into you being overwhelmed and in crisis. So what we look at when we're looking at self-care, we're looking at physical, mental, emotional and spiritual side of us. So your physical side, activities that help with your physical health, such as healthy eating, regular sleep, just improving your general well-being in those areas, and even incorporating things to help us manage with our physical stresses, not forgetting that our emotions and our mental health can affect our bodies physically. So in terms of your mental and emotional activities that stimulate your mind, your intellect, looking at reading, puzzles, activities that help you connect and reflect on life, and that might be journaling, speaking to a therapist if you need to, playing music, those sort of things. And then the spiritual side, if that's something that you're aligned with, sort of looking at manifestations, law of attraction, crystals and things. And it's taking the time, and I mean really taking the time, to allow yourself and believe that you're entitled and it's essential, necessary to look after yourself in all of those areas of your health, and knowing that it's needed, and not feeling guilty for taking the time to focus on yourself. Sometimes we can feel selfish, can't we, when we have to say no to somebody because we're doing something that's about us, and we can become people pleasers, and we need to think of ourselves a little more, or some of us do, and that's where the self-care plan comes into place. You don't need it necessarily written down, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep this video quite short for a change. I know, I can ramble. And then tomorrow I'm going to look at some different ideas of how you might be able to incorporate self-care into your daily life. So I'll leave you with that thought for today, how you might start thinking about how you manage your self-care, or indeed, do you even manage your self-care? I will speak to you tomorrow.